Aloha, and welcome to another episode of Police Profiles on Safe Hawaii. I'm Denise Leitonen with Hawaii Police Department, and I'm so excited because today joining me from Oahu is Amanda Leonard, who is with the Missing Child Center Hawaii, which is part of the state Hawaii Department of the Attorney General. Amanda, thanks so much for joining me
Aloha,
today.
Denise. Thank you so much for having me.
Such a pleasure. And for our viewers that are not familiar with the Missing Child Center, you're a lawyer by training. You have managed the Missing Child Center for the past 8 years, I believe, and you're also the statewide Miley Amber Alert Coordinator. So we're going to be jumping in, talking about the Missing Child Center, Missing Keiki in Hawaii. For our viewers that are unfamiliar with the program, what is the Missing Child Center all about?
So, the Missing Child Center Hawaii is a specialized criminal justice program within the Attorney General's office. It's a very small office, just two of us, and we serve primarily as the state's missing children clearinghouse, as well as a resource center for law enforcement, social services, and families of missing children. Um, we operate statewide, and so we serve all four counties, including Hawaii Island, and we handle all types of missing child cases.
And what are some of the high profile cases that your office has been involved with recently?
Well, I think anytime there is a serious child abduction, it does get a lot of local and even national media attention. One that comes to mind in last year in the summer, we assisted Hawaii Police Department with a very serious custodial interference case that crossed state lines. And so that case required Missing Child Center to coordinate with another state to bring that.
Arizona, correct?
Correct. And that would be the Arizona Department of Public Safety, as well as the FBI, to coordinate the recovery of the child once that child left our jurisdiction. So, luckily, that was a successful recovery thanks to our state requesting the state of Arizona to issue what is called a turquoise alert. And thankfully, that resulted in a safe recovery of the child.
You know, you bring up a good point about the criteria for a Miley
Mhm.
Amber Alert. And I think there's a lot of confusion out there in the public. Like, uh, when you have a missing child, when does it become a Miley Alert?
Well, first, I want to answer that question by saying that not all missing children are going to end up with a Miley Amber Alert. The criteria is very specific. It has to be a minor, of course. There has to be an abduction and a belief by police that that child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death. Finally, there has to be enough information on the child and the suspect or the suspect's vehicle that would help the public be able to locate the missing child.
Like, be on the lookout for a red car versus a pickup truck versus
Correct.
a van
If
or
we don't have
something.
actionable information, it's not going to be helpful. So if we're going to make a decision to hit, a lot of people's cell phones with an emergency alert, and it's a very, very serious decision to make. If we're going to do that, we have to have actionable information that the public can act on, whether it's be on the lookout for the vehicle, be on the lookout for the suspect and the child, and call 911 if you see the child, and really help law enforcement locate that child as quickly as possible. Time is the enemy in all of these cases.
So you work statewide, you're based on Oahu. How often are you working with your partners on the mainland at different agencies?
It just depends. If we do have a missing child case where one of the Hawaii kid is either travels on loan to the U.S. mainland or is taken to the U.S. mainland, we are already set up with our contacts and our counterparts in the other states. So the Justice Department actually runs the National Amber Alert Program, and they ensure that we know who to call in different states if we do have an incident. And I will say, there are times when other states ask us for assistance. So the public doesn't usually see that, but we do get out of state requests for assistance where we are helping another state to locate one of their children that has come into our state.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And I know you're based on Oahu. You're not often here in Hilo. What are some of the new initiatives that your office is involved in this year and that might bring you to the Big Island more often?
Well, it's always a pleasure to be on the Big Island and Hilo. I love it here. So, one of the things that we're really focused on this year and going forward is training and education. We are now doing in person trainings at all four county police academies. So, the reason why I'm here today in Hilo is that I was asked to train the new police recruits for the 105th class with Hawaii Police Department. And we're just so excited because we know that being able to train new officers that are going to, start off in patrol level, that's going to be extremely important in terms of missing child response here locally and statewide. It is a first responder that first encounters the missing child incident. And so it's absolutely imperative that they are trained and aware of signs and know exactly what to do, especially in a child abduction scenario.
And that's a good point, and it recalls an incident that we had a few years
Mhm.
back where we had a case of there was a reported missing 5-year-old girl, I believe, and she was reported missing. She was autistic. She had on a pink shirt and I think unicorn pajamas. And in that particular instance, there was a recruit officer. I think he was just a couple weeks on patrol, on solo patrol, and, very eager and on staying on top of everything, and had turned on he's getting ready in the morning, getting breakfast ready, and he looks out his window and he sees this girl across the street out from his kitchen window, and it's a 5-year-old with a pink shirt and unicorn pajamas, and he's just thinking to himself, he doesn't have any information yet because he hasn't gone to work yet. And he's like, I didn't think my neighbors had children. So it's kind of unusual to see a 5-year-old wandering around by themselves in the early morning light. And as he proceeds to go about his day, gets in his car, is on his way to the station to start his shift, and up pops a notice, a bolo notice, be on the lookout for this 5-year-old girl in a pink shirt and unicorn pajama bottoms. And he just did a U-turn, came back, found the girl right away. And I remember you and I discussing that case a few years
Yes,
back.
that was truly incredible. I have chicken skin hearing this story again. At the right place at the right time. And that is really the essence of My Late Amber Alert is when we are asking the community to assist us is because we do need eyes and ears out there. Somebody's in the right place at the right time. There's so many stories like that. And again, timing is critical. Had he not recovered that child when he did, who knows what could have happened? And so it's absolutely important that we are making sure that all of our officers are trained and that the public is aware of what to do in a situation like that because it affects everyone in the community.
And he was just a couple of weeks out of the academy himself. So,
Well, I wish I said I trained him, but I don't I can't verify that.
but moving forward, now you're going to be able to say
Right.
that.
Now we're
So.
in all four county police academies, and it's just an absolute honor and privilege.
So is the Big Island the first one that you're training the recruits, or have you already started
Well, I
on the
actually
other
started
islands?
with Honolulu Police. They were the agency that first asked me to do it. Was this sergeant named Kaipo Paiva? He said, "Hey," he attended one of my trainings. He said, "Hey, have you thought about doing the academy?" And he was the one that started that process. And then from there, it was a chain reaction where the other counties were like, "Hey, why don't you come to talk to our recruits?" Because again, patrol is a absolutely vital. The most one of the most important responders is patrol to taking that report and pushing that information up to make sure that all of the response is occurring in coordination with our office.
And you also deal with our detectives and our canine handlers, correct?
Yes, It is my pleasure to work with the juvenile aid section. We've been working with them for many, many years, and we were previously involved with canine donations. And it's just incredible to watch that program thrive because the canines, the missing person canines, they save lives.
Absolutely.
Here and across the country, there's just incredible stories of canines rescuing missing children and, of course, missing kupuna and missing adults. So they are an absolutely vital resource. So we don't underestimate what those dogs do.
Yeah, I know Canine Scout, who's beloved by you and
hmm
myself and many others. He helped locate a missing Kapuna yesterday who was
Incredible.
endangered. So,
Case in point.
yep,
They save
absolutely.
lives, and they have a really great work ethic. So yeah, we really we continue to support Hawaii Police Department's canine program in any way we can.
And it's very much appreciated.
Mm.
What else do you want our viewers to know about the Missing Child Center Hawaii?
We want to make sure that parents and families out there know that we are a free resource for any families of missing children across the state. They can contact us at 808-586-1449. And we want to make sure that parents know that there is no waiting period to report your child missing or runaway. So first, call 911, make that report, and then contact us.
Gotcha. Well, I know we have to wrap up, but Amanda, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. And you do so much for the community, but behind the scenes that people are unaware of. So I am so thrilled to have you in the spotlight here today
Mahalo,
on the show.
Denise. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to Naleo TV for inviting us here today to share our work. Mahalo.
Thanks. And stay tuned for our next episode of Safe Hawaii and Police Profiles. Aloha.